Hello, it's Stephanie again, and I want to go over that FAFSA application that I had told you that we would end up doing. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible. I'm going to go through the sections and let you know the certain things you should be aware of. And like I said, we're going to go through this step by step and, well, actually, section by section, take our time with it so we don't have too many questions or concerns after we do this. First thing is, this is a FAFSA worksheet. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Right. Now, with this FAFSA worksheet, we're going to go through all of the different sections, like I said, and it explains how to fill out the FAFSA. Now, I don't know if this is still available online because most applications are no longer done by hard copy meaning the paper. A lot of them are done online. And again, if you do not know that website for the FAFSA, financial aid application, it's www.fafsa.ed.gov. Gov. Now, when you first begin to fill out the FAFSA application for financial aid for college, you're going to need to go through the instructions and the information first and foremost to find out how to fill out a FAFSA online, because there are things that change from year to year. Subtle things, not great differences, but just things that are important. There's also a PIN. This is an electronic signature that you will have to register with the Department of Education in order to get financial aid, in order to sign your application online, as also to even submit it. You can't even submit the application without this PIN. This is some new form of verification of identity. Okay? So, in the first section of the FAFSA, it completely talks about state aid guidelines and section 1, which is student information. Now, within the student information, it's basically self-explanatory. What it is the name, the state that the student will reside in legally. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. Residing legally means that you actually live in one state, and that is where you went to high school. That's your primary residence. Even if you have two homes and you may live in one state, sometimes in another state another, but this is your legal residence is the resident or domicile that you live in for the majority of the year. Okay? 6 months or more, close to a year is possible. Alright. And I'm only making that distinction because even though you may be thinking I'm crazy for saying that, there are people who live between states throughout the year. Now, sometimes there are children that come from homes where the parents have shared custody. That's an example. There's also more extended examples where people have extended family and things happen where the children started out in where I live, New York City, and maybe they had to go down south to Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, wherever, and stay there for the remainder of the year because mom lost a job, dad lost his job, or there was some sort of illness or hardship in the family where the children had to be relocated for them to be properly cared for. And let me just make my position clear. All of these videos are intended for the health and welfare of children. I am so interested in our children's future, it is not funny. Now, I will provide the information to the parents and generally to the sisters that are raising the children by themselves, but my sole focus is about getting the parent situation that much better so that they can do a better job of being that parent. That's my whole agenda. Okay? And I'm putting that out there again because I gotta honestly tell you, I was really insulted and disgusted with the amount of ignorant and unnecessary comments that were made during my first introductory video about relationship drama, nonsense about child support. I could care less about any of that. All right? Right now, I'm dealing with the mindset, or want to deal directly with the mindset of proactive parents who are interested in making sure their child not only graduates high school, gets good grades, and has a general understanding and retention of the information they learn there, but also gets into any college that they choose, do well, continue on from there. Because the undergraduate degree is fine, but it's almost like a second diploma. You need to go be focused on that master's degree, that PhD, because that's the only way black people and black children are going to get some leverage in this society where everything is based upon how much money you make. I'm not saying that you can't be happy without having degrees. That's pretty evident. I mean, there are tons of people walking around happy without degrees. But those days of falling into those jobs where, you're going to be set for life are almost like a dinosaur. They don't exist anymore. So you have to be prepared. And you can never be prepared enough. You can have all the degrees in the world, but you still need to continue your education. So that's what my focus is on. Making sure that our children continue their education and are able to obtain education in any niches or areas that they can find to help them further themselves in this world. All right? I'm about the progression of our children. So back to this FAFSA. So, like I said, Section 1 is student information. Name, address, social security, driver's license, if applicable, citizenship, alien registration, if that deals with you, their marital status. If they're married, they actually do ask that because there are some married freshmen and etc. What type of degree they will be pursuing, if this is their first degree, second degree, whatever. If they're working on a certificate. Not all people who go to college go for degrees. They have several great certificate programs, and those programs could be in paralegal. Let's say the person wants to work before they finish their degree. They get a certificate in paralegal, and they start working if they can find a job. Paralegal is one of those fields where you don't necessarily have to have a degree. You can have a certificate, a diploma, or a degree, and you can make a decent living and still pursue your education while you have some money in your pocket. Okay, so that's basically it about the students on page 1 for the students. Actually, page 2 of the FAFSA application. Okay. Then, as the student information continues, again, they want to know what type of degree are you looking to receive with this yearly application for financial aid. They want to know how far did your parents go in school. They also want to know if you're convicted about drugs. And the reason they ask that question is because if you were convicted for a drug, it says, a federal law suspends eligibility for some students with drug convictions. Answer no if you have no convictions. Also answer no if you have a conviction that was not a federal or state conviction. Do not count convictions that have been removed from your record or that occurred before you turned 18. 18 years old, unless you were tried as an adult. And the reason they're making all those distinctions about something that seems very simple and clear cut is because the FAFSA application for financial aid is nationwide. Goes through the whole, it's eligibility for the entire country. But depending on what state you live in, will either block you from receiving financial aid altogether, or it may have restrictions on how much aid you receive. So keep that in mind when you get to that question about whether or not you've been convicted of possessing or selling illegal drugs, because that's going to be the clincher to decide if you get financial aid at all or how much they will allow you if you're given any financial aid. Then the next section 2 of student information talks about the student's status. And again, they want to know what type of degree you're going to be working on when you get into college. And I'm going to stop right here due to YouTube's uploading time limits, and I'll be right back. Good night.